Hey YouTubers, just want to do a video. I'm out in my car. I was wanting to do this video. I was wanting to do this video in the house because I had a few links to share, or as our friend Gildy thought he would say, linkies. And it's about this stuff. As you can see, I'm using this filming this on my iPhone. I'm in the Asda car park, or I should say Walmart, because Walmart's the parent company. So there's a lot of people in about, but I was like, fuck it, I'll make a video anyway. But it's about this, and it's more aimed at the UK. And as I said, I was going to originally do this video in the house, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it now. Now it's in my head. And all the links, I've got some good links to share with you, and some things I've read. But I can always do another video at a later date, since I've not done that many recently. Yeah. And it's all to do with CGT, which is an acronym for capital gains tax. It's very shiny. I can actually see my face reflecting through that. It's a very shiny. Even though it's got that bitch on it, it is a nice coin. But I'll try and be quick. Yes, to do with capital gains tax, and over here in the UK, and it's obviously the same in America when it comes to selling bullion. I can't remember what you call it. In America, when you sell over a certain amount, then you need to do the dealer does a tax report, and you need to obviously pay tax on it. But in the UK, especially with silver, by the way, we Americans are lucky because we need to pay 20% VAT for this stuff. 20% VAT. So, not all that bad in America. We're the ones that are getting it hard. But obviously we don't pay the VAT in gold, which is why when it comes to buying large quantities, which I'm ready to do, I'm ready to load the boat big time. It's probably best in the UK now to buy gold, especially with the gold and silver ratio at 50:1. If we didn't pay VAT, I'd be loading up in silver. But when you go to buy silver now in large amounts, and you look at even the good dealers, it's £20 an ounce, but then you're paying 20% VAT on top of that, and it adds up. If you're going to be buying, like, I don't know, 200-300 ounces, which I'm hoping to do soon, you're talking about £5,000 VATs. Well, obviously not as much as that. You're talking a couple of £1,000 VAT, and that couple of £1,000 is just going to the taxman. Whereas in America, you're lucky you don't pay VAT in your silver, so you can basically get every ounce of silver you pay for. Whereas in the UK, you don't. But it's just got me thinking, things that are kind of happening now. You've seen the Fed basically bailing out the rest of the world yesterday. Was slashing the reserve requirements, and obviously China's followed, and basically similar to the margin hikes, when it's like this, people, for those that don't understand, they cut reserve requirements, so banks need less money in their vaults, or less paper digits to lend. Basically, if the fractional reserve banking, the ratio was 9:1, for every pound or dollar, whatever they had, they could lend out $9 or £10 to be exact, whatever. They basically only need, just say, 50 pence to lend out £9, if you know what I mean, £10. So They're just basically debasing the currency. So there's a lot of people about. I'm just keep looking because you're looking at me. But anyway, who cares? So they're basically just making paper a lot cheaper. And I just saw yesterday, you seen the price of gold and silver, among other things, shoot up. But anyway, that's what it got me thinking, and I've been looking at buying some gold and silver, and obviously thinking further ahead, what you're going to do with it, and I'm obviously going to sell it one day, but I don't want to pay tax. And I do have a lot of eagles and maples, and got some gold buffaloes, and I don't, as I said before, I don't intend to pay tax anyway. And a lot of things I've read, I was one of the things I was trying to share a link. I don't know if anyone here actually sold a lot of gold and silver, if they actually paid capital gains tax. If you can, I wouldn't mind if you shot me a message or a comment or whatever, just to know what happens. But I've read some links that a lot of dealers don't bother. I don't know, I've never sold 1 single ounce of the gold and silver I've got. Obviously, a lot comes into it. Here in the UK, you get a £10,000 threshold for any profits you make. So if you make anything, I think it's £10,600. If you make over that in profits, you pay capital gains tax, and capital gains tax is 28%. That is a lot. That's a lot of your wealth you're given to the taxman to do what? To go to war, to pay people who aren't working. I don't have a problem if people are disabled, but people are able to work. I'm kind of getting a bit more, I wouldn't say a bit more extreme or anything, but I do understand it's hard out there for people that ain't got jobs, but at the end of the day, if you got your benefits took off you, you would find a way to get your ass working without doing crime. If someone took your benefits off you, say, oops, no, I crashed there. One of humans' greatest instincts is the ability to survive, and you will survive for your family, regardless what situation you've been put in over the years, and decades and centuries ago. And I'll use the terminology cavemen, even though some people don't like that, or cavemen didn't exist, whatever. But it didn't have all this, but humans survived, went hunting, whatever. I'm not saying if you live in a city you're going to go out hunting, but you will find a way to survive and feed your family. I don't care what anyone says. You can't rely. People have sort of been brainwashed into relying on governments for handouts, and that's just the way it is. And you see in the UK with the big strikes yesterday, it was the public sector workers striking in the UK, and they were striking over pensions, but these people that work in the public sector get a better pension than the people in the private sector. I think I read a stat that to get £9,000 a year after you retire on a pension, and £9,000 at your pension a year, people in the public sector only to contribute £60,000 over their working life, I think it is. But if if someone worked in the private sector was trying to get £9,000 a year from their pension after they retire, they would have to contribute £200,000. But I didn't see any private sector people out protesting. So I was asked, was I against the strikes or was I not? The simple answer is I don't care. I don't care. I don't rely on the government. So these people do, because they've been brainwashed and they vote and they think the government's there to help them. I couldn't give a shit. I'm my own person. Yes, I have a pension, but as I said, I got into all that stuff before I woke up, and then things are different. Then maybe I wouldn't have a pension. I'd put my money into the metals from a young age. I've had that pension since I was like 18, so that was when I was getting advice of other people. And as I said, I've diversified my pension. I've moved it into gold and silver, and even now I'm working and trying to get that lump sum out, even now. But it's another story. But as I say, as I was talking about people and benefits and stuff, this is what your 28% is going towards. So I don't want to lose my wealth when I come to sell this stuff, because I've been alert 20%, and I actually spoke to the Inland Revenue, basically the head of the tax people in the UK, for those in the States that are watching it don't know. And I spoke to her and I had a good conversation about the whole bullying thing, and a lot of them didn't have an idea, but when you get through to the inspectors, they know exactly what they're talking about. And I've watched videos before, like, even like Raw Dog, saying about kind of keep a clean trace of what you bought it at. So you swap it for silver, then swap it for gold, and when the ratios change and up and down, try and clean the trace so they never know what you bought it at. But I had a good conversation, and especially in the UK, they're actually very, very, if a dealer does a tax report on you, they are very strict. Like now, you could, with the gold and silver ratio being so big at 50-1, you might want to sell some gold and buy some silver, or should I say swap gold for silver. A lot of dealers I speak to, they say it's got to go through as a sale. It's got to go as they actually need to buy it. You can't. I hear people say, yeah, I just went and swapped it. I don't know if they basically swapped it and they deal over the counter kind of thing, or under the counter I should say. But with my experience of talking to dealers, they say you need to sell it, put it through as a sale I should say, and then buy the silver if you want to do that with the ratio at 50-1. A lot of people are swapping some gold for silver, and obviously when the ratio gets a bit shorter, you might want to swap some silver for gold, because gold usually, well, from what I've seen with my experience, it got as low as 30-1 ish, and then obviously gold shut off and silver tanked, you can say. So obviously you can keep a trace that way to the tax man, to this is what I bought it at, or then when the ratios keep trading or getting smaller and bigger, you can keep swapping, so you've always got a record of what you bought it at, so you pay less profit. So there's less profit and you pay less tax. But as you say, it's not been. I've looked at doing it, but as I say, it's one of them. I just keep. I'm one of these guys that just buy it and keep it, and I don't kind of trade my gold and silver that way. Obviously, it'll be good to do that, but I think there's a lot of people like myself that just buy and just don't bother about all that stuff. Gambling the ratios, no, but that is one way of doing it. But like I was saying, if you say to a dealer, or if he asks about the profits, or the tax office asks you about what you bought it at, because they want to know what you bought it at, they want to know the underlying profit to tax you your 20% over £10,500, obviously. If you say to him, there wasn't a buying value, I don't have a receipt or proof of what the gold or silver was when I bought it, then instead of them charging you capital gains tax, they will take that as inheritance tax. They will charge you inheritance tax, which is 40%. But then it gets complicated again, because inheritance tax is, whereas with capital gains tax you get £10,600 or £10,800 threshold before you pay capital gains tax. With inheritance tax, you get a £325,000 threshold, or whoever. Basically, it's very complicated. Whoever gave you that, because it has that threshold, so it's very complicated. But as I say, they will find a way to come after your ass. And as I say, like, it is very complicated, and the easiest way to avoid all of that. They want their money, and you see ever so now, like, even I've got some friends that have got businesses. They've had businesses for years. They've run a business and they're VAT registered, and even more so now, they're getting letters from the Inland Revenue, the Customs, chasing them up for their VAT. Even more so now, but it's never before. They'll just not pay VAT, and not a big thing will be said. In the UK, if you have a business if you're VAT registered, you need to do a VAT return every 3 months, and they've been quite lenient over the years. But now that they're chasing people up for the VAT, and some guy even went to jail, I was reading, because he owed £425,000 for his VAT, hadn't paid it. So they're coming in hard, and there's nothing you can do. So if I do sell this stuff for a lot of money in the years to come, I don't want the taxman chasing me up and things like that. So that's why here in the UK I've started loading up in Britannias, even more so than the Eagles and Maples and stuff, because you're going to have to pay tax on them, but with these you don't. So I think my days of buying Maples and Eagles are more or less over, even though I do have a lot of them. But that was before I was kind of new into this thing, and I didn't really understand the whole capital gains issue. But it is a big issue, especially when you sell, especially with the current climate and the economical climate. The government needs every penny it can get its hands on, so they are chasing people up for profits and the VAT, and if anyone in the UK does sell the foreign bullion to a dealer, I must add, that you can obviously sell your stuff on eBay and doing a dark alley and not paying any VAT. But if a dealer does do a report, if they do, because as I say, dealers might not do it, they'll come after you. But they can't with this. It's capital gains tax exempt. It is, as you can see, £2. It is here in Britain. It is legal tender, even though it's worth a lot more than the face value. This is about £35. Oh, sorry, it is about £21 an ounce, but obviously after VAT, unfortunately, it works out. I got this for £33. It's 2011 Britannia. I do have a few more. I've got some 2012 ones, which are going for a bit more. But as I says, I think it's all about Britannias now for me, and obviously with the gold as well. I think I'm going to try and get some of these in gold. As I said before, I do have some gold buffaloes, and I've got some gold 1 ounce maples, and even one of my friends is going to load up. I think he's going to buy a lot of sugar rands, and I just says you might want to start buying these, even though I think these are 22 carat gold. The gold Britannias, and obviously sugar rands 24 carat, and maples 24 carat, and the buffaloes are 24 carat. I think there's only 3 24 carat coins. Obviously it's good to have, but I think it's all about Britannias now. So let me know what you think, and I'll hopefully do obviously another video soon, because I've got a lot of linkies to share. And as it says, fuck the taxman.